The second part of the anime begins, and 3 days have passed since Rio goes, and he arrives at a city called Amon in a neighboring kingdom. He checks his picture among those wanted for justice in the kingdom, but he does not find his name and continues his way. Rio feels that someone is watching him, but he does not find anyone, and Rio goes to try the food of that city, and try the pasta dish. And it is the first time for Rio to see this dish in this world, because he used to see it in memories of Haruto. Rio admires pasta very much when trying it, and after Rio finishes eating, he goes to buy some food to complete his journey. A cute girl named Lottie receives him, and tells him that it is not allowed to carry swords in the place. So Rio gives her his own sword. Lottie is surprised by Rio's black hair because there is only one village far away only they have black hair. And then Lottie helps him buy the resources he wants. Then they sit and drink tea. And Rio gives her a message to deliver to Celia. Rio writes in the letter everything he went through in the city. Then Rio leaves the city, and the girls admire the character of Rio. On his way, he finds a girl lying on the ground, so he goes to help her. And when Rio approaches her, the girl shoots a poisoned needle at Rio and attacks him. This girl is half human, and she wants to kill Rio, and they enter into a strong fight. The girl is amazed at Rio's speed. Rio is finally able to defeat the girl. The girl's eye color suddenly changes. She cries hard and begs him not to kill her. Rio loses the girl consciousness in order to calm down, and Rio notices the presence of a collar on the girl's neck, and this collar is to control the girl by magic. Rio remembers that he read in a book about how to invalidate the magic of the collar. Then Rio can untie the collar from the girl's neck. The girl is sleeping and remembers that she was in the same bus that Haruto was in. And when she died, she woke up and found herself in this body and tortured by another boy, and this boy is Stuart. When the girl wakes up, she finds herself tied up. Rio tells her that he untied the cordon that made her obey orders. So the girl cries hard, and Rio asks her who sent her. The girl says that her master is named Stuart. Then Rio concludes that Stuart's father sent her to kill him, and Rio asks her if he sent someone else to kill him, but the girl does not know. And Rio unties the girl's chains and tells her that she is now free even if she does not want returning to her master. There is a place where people like her live in the east called the wilderness. Then he tells her that if she attacks him again, he will kill her and continue on his way. But the girl keeps walking behind Rio and tells him that she wants to accompany him and regrets what happened. But Rio tells her that he does not trust her and asks her how to ensure that she will not attack him again. So the girl takes out the collar and tells him to put it on her neck, and tells him that she feels lonely and afraid. So Rio agrees to accompany him and tells her to get rid of this collar, and then asks her for her name, and she says her name is Latvia. And then they continue their way together. Then they sit down to eat, and Rio prepares her a sandwich, and Latvia eats quickly and cries because the food is delicious, and her master used to feed her animal food. Then they continue their way, and Latvia gets tired of walking, so Rio stops to camp in the place. Then we go to Celia, and Rio's message has reached her. She is happy as she reads the letter. At night, Rio prepares pasta, and Latvia knows what it is, and Rio asks her if she ate it before, and she tells him that she used to eat it in the past. And Rio feels that Latvia is also from the world of Haruto. And when they go to sleep, Latvia cries while she is sleeping, and Rio sleeps next to her to reassure her. And Latvia says while she is sleeping that she wants to go home in Tokyo. So Rio makes sure that Latvia is also from the same world as Haruto. In the morning, Latvia looks at Rio's face. She also feels that it is the same person from the bus. And when Rio wakes up, she asks him if he doesn't mind that she calls him Oni-chan. This means her big brother. Rio thinks about everything Latvia went through and that she feels lonely, and this is what will make her happy, and agree. And then they continue on their way. And when they reach a place close to the wilderness, they camp to rest from the road. At night, Latvia was sleeping and dreaming of a nightmare. So Rio used magic on her to calm down. And when he came out of the tent, he found a large wolf in front of him. Then a strong light came out of the wolf and then disappeared. And the light was magic, so that Rio temporarily lost his sight. Then, some girls attacked Rio, but he used the art of spirits to know from which direction they would attack him, and the girls were surprised by his use of the art of spirits. But Rio knows from their language that they are half human, and he tells them that he wants to talk to them, but the girls are hesitant but agree in the end. And one of the girls approaches Rio to talk to him, but two girls from her group find Latifa, and they think that Rio kidnapped her, and one of the girls attacks Rio, and Rio tries to explain the situation to them, but they do not believe him, and they can lose Rio consciousness. Rio dreams of the girl who appeared to him at the beginning and asks her who she is. She does not know, and when she calls him Haruto, he knows that she knows everything about him, and Rio asks her how to know everything about him, and she tells him that she is connected to him and that it is still early and that their time is over. And then she hugs him and disappears. And then Rio also dreams of his childhood friend and keeps calling her name until one of the girls wakes him up. And then the village sage enters and apologizes to him for what happened, and she wants to hear from Rio the story of Latifa. And the girls also apologize to Rio for what happened. Then the village wise takes Rio, and she is surprised that he sees the big tree because no one can see it except good users of spirit art, because around it is a barrier made of high-level spirit art. And she asks him where he learned the art of spirits, and Rio tells her that he learned it by himself. And then they go to the council of elders, and the wise men introduce themselves to Rio. And this wise person is Sheldora, and this wise Ursula, and this dwarf Dominic. And the village is where multiple races of users of the art of spirits live. And the wise men thank Rio for saving Latifa and apologize to him for what happened. And they ask him if there is anything to compensate him for what happened from the girls. So Rio asks to keep Latifa in the village, and he also asks to stay with her until she gets used to the place because she is related to it. And they are surprised because they would have asked the same thing. And they are happy because Rio is a nice and polite person. And suddenly a girl appears, and she is the soul of the sacred big tree named Dorois, and she approaches Rio and feels that there is a spirit contracted with her inside him. But Rio does not know anything, and she tells him that because he has a soul inside him, he cannot use magic like other humans. So Rio makes sure that her words are true, and Dorois approaches Rio to know the power of the spirit inside him, and is surprised by the amount of energy inside him, and tells him that there is a spirit in the form of humans sleeping inside him. And everyone is surprised from what they knew. Dorois says that only second order and higher spirits can take the form of human beings and that they are second-class spirits. But the spirit inside is one of the 6 great spirits, and that all those spirits have disappeared since the war of the divine beasts 1,000 years ago. And after what they knew, the wise wanted to treat Rio as a saint. And then one of the girls took him to the house where he would stay. And Latifa was very happy with the house and took Rio on a tour. And then they sat down to eat. Then one of the girls tells him that she and the other girls will live with him in the same house. And Ursula comes and tells Rio that she ordered it so that Latifa gets closer to the girls. And on the other hand, the girls care about him. And then Rio spends his time training and developing his spirit art. And Latifa is very enjoying her time. And a year passes and the date of the Great Spirit Festival comes in the village. And everyone in the village celebrates it. And on the other hand, the evil man rides a griffin with another boy. And then they enter a cave, steal a dragon's egg, and escape. And on their way to escape, the dragons chase them. Then we go back to the village. Rio and Latifa will take the blessing with the kiss of the tree spirit. And everyone is happy in the village. And all the girls are very attached to Rio. Then we go to the bad guy. He gives the boy with the little red stone and leaves it with the egg and the griffin, and tells him to wait for him. Then he lets him go, and this man leaves the boy because he made him bait for dragons, but the boy does not know. And on the other side, Rio takes Latifa to the forest to tell her that he will leave the village after a while short. And Latifa tells him that she wants to accompany him. But Rio refuses because he is heading to a place he does not know and there could be danger. Latifa is sad and cries and leaves him and runs. And the spirit of the tree feels the presence of people in the forest. So the wise men send the group of girls to check the place. And the bad guy went to the dragon's cave to steal all the eggs, and all the dragons are chasing the boy with the egg. And this was the evil man's plan from the beginning. Then the girls reach the boy, but he tries to escape from them. And the girls try to stop him because he is heading towards the village. But the dragons appear and attack the boy. And at the same time the bad guy takes out the red stone. And he breaks it, and the boy dies too. And Latifa walks in the forest, sad, and the boy and the egg fall in front of her. And the egg breaks because of its fall. Then a dragon appears in front of Latifa and is very angry because the egg broke. and the village knows what is happening. And when Rio knows what is happening, he worries about Latifa because she is in the forest and runs to look for her. And the dragon attacks Latifa and is about to eliminate her, but one of the girls appears and defends her. But the dragon is very strong and all attacks do not affect him. And Latifa tries to distract the dragon so that it does not reach the village. But the dragon besieges Latifa and is going to eliminate it. And suddenly Rio appears and eliminates it easily. Then the rest of the dragons escape, and the rest of the girls come. And they are surprised by Rio's power because he eliminated the dragon by his hand alone. And then they return to the village. And Latifa regrets leaving Rio because she fled to the forest. But Rio forgives her and tells her that she is his younger sister now. And Latifa is happy with Rio's words, and she tells him that she wants to tell him something but she does not know if he will believe her. And she tells him that she was a human and was live in a place called Japan, but Rio tells her that he believes her because he was also Japanese and died. And they make sure that they are the same young man and girl from the bus. And Rio admits to her that he will go to the east to go to the village where his father lived. Then the day of Rio's departure comes, and the village elders and girls bid him farewell. And he thanks them for having received him all that time. And the village elders give him some gifts that will help him in his journey. And the dwarf Dominique gives him a sword on which he can use the art of spirits and a coat made of leather the dragon that killed him. And the wise Ursula gives him some supplies that he needs on his journey. And the wise Sheldora gives him a space-time bracelet. And this bracelet can carry anything inside it. And Rio is reluctant to take the bracelet because it is precious. But the wise men insist that Rio take the bracelet and then take it and say goodbye to Latifa and set off on his journey. If you like the video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and click on the like and write your opinion in the comments.